Morgan Millsaps. This is my final presentation for Early Childhood Care and Education 2201 Exceptionalities with Dr. McCoy. I have learned a multitude of things in this class, but I wanted to highlight 3 particular competency skills for the course. And the first one is competency number 11, identifying typical adaptive equipment that may be employed, including assistive technology devices and technological services. So there are a wide variety of assistive technological devices and services to help a wide variety of special needs, and this is something I wasn't exposed to before. And the great news is that this variety keeps growing with our recent technological advancements in science and medicine. Some typical adaptive devices include wheelchairs, automated voice machines, and braille readers. Classrooms across America also use smart boards, which benefit normal children and children with special needs, such as visual impairments. Other examples of adaptive equipment can be lower tech, such as specialized pencil grips or even communication boards for children with autism. The next one is competency number 34, examine how visual impairment impacts the learning and development of the young child. So visual impairment can cause developmental delays in children. They may fail to demonstrate appropriate cognitive milestones in a timely manner, and this is stated in our textbook written by Gallagher, Coleman, and Kirk. Visual impairments can also cause delays in social maturity, which is also in the textbook by Gallagher, Coleman, and Kirk. So if you look at language development, children who are blind cannot use visual input to support the development of language. Instead, they must use tactile or auditory input to help develop language skills. And this can pose great difficulty in early childhood, which highlights the importance of early intervention and diagnosis. And the last one is competency number 6, exploring assistive technologies and their use in inclusive settings. I found this very important because inclusivity must include the children in your classroom, so assistive technology, therefore, is imperative to an inclusive setting. If a teacher fails to advocate for their children by searching for and requesting adaptive technology within the classroom, it is no longer developmentally appropriate for all of the students. So assistive services in the classroom may include moving spots in the classroom or getting different furniture to accommodate students who require wheelchairs or canes. Assistive technology devices in the classroom can be low tech and include handheld magnifying glasses or desk organizers for kids with ADHD. Assistive technology in the classroom may also be high tech and include smart boards or wheelchairs with voice over devices. And there are 5 ways I'm going to utilize this information moving forward. So the first one is to remain inclusive. So as an educator, I will use all the information I've gained from this course to ensure each of my children have access to the classroom and equal opportunities with their varying challenges and strengths to learn joyfully. My second reason is to advocate for a wide variety of assistive technology in my classroom based on each child's need. I'll also be mindful to communicate with parents about the requirements of the child's IEP and required assistive services to ensure the goals they have set are progressing. I will additionally promote an anti-bias environment towards all children, especially those impacted by an exceptionality, because bias towards these children is just not inclusive or developmentally appropriate. By implementing all of these and more, I will successfully maintain a developmentally appropriate environment, which is always the goal. Is visual impairments. The first adaptation you can do is to offer Braille versions of books you are reading in class. This is great if a child is learning Braille. You can send the book home with them to learn with their Braille teacher. Adaptation number 2 is to provide tactile strips or cues in your room to let children know when they are getting near bookshelves or the doorway, such as a sandpaper strip on the door and a different tactile strip on the bookshelf. The first assistive technology device is a Braille reader. This is like a keyboard, but for Braille. It can turn text, what they type, into text or speech. Assistive device number 2 is a handheld magnifying glass. This is low tech. It's widely accessible and can help children read when they are not otherwise able to. The first learning activity is domino counting. This is friendly for all children, but especially those with visual impairments, because they can line their dominoes up, feel the number of circles on the domino, and grab Cheerios from a cup and place it next to the domino in the amount that is there. The second learning activity is soil layer cups. So this is a very tactile activity that includes 4 out of the 5 senses if you aren't able to see very well. So you verbally instruct them on which layer of the soil to put in the cup. So you say, first, grab your bedrock. That is your jelly beans. And then you can explain what bedrock is, and then so on and so forth until the children have a wonderful snack to enjoy with you. Is ADHD. So one adaptation is to offer alternative seating where children can safely rock, move, and stand without distracting others or harming themselves. Bean bags, pillows, and they make chair rockers that you can put in the chair that allow the child to rock back and forth without sitting it on its side. You can offer those to children with ADHD in your classroom. The second adaptation is to make sure you have a clear schedule in the room with pictures and offer a timer for each activity so children know when transitions are happening. This is very common in the early childhood classroom to have a picture schedule. The assistive technology for ADHD can include audiobooks, and WebMD suggests audiobooks is a fantastic device for children who have a hard time focusing on books. Maybe their attention span for reading isn't as long, but their attention span for listening is longer, so you can adapt this for them. Assistive device number 2 is a personal timer. This is something children can wear on their wrist and keep track of each activity. The first learning activity is a build an animal sensory bin. Children with ADHD are usually tactile. They love to touch and feel and move. So having a sand bin with something like an animal puzzle inside of it hidden will allow for a great learning activity with spatial reasoning because they're able to dig and put the puzzle together. You can even turn it into a group activity by allowing the child to hide it and then give it to a classmate to find. The second learning activity is sculpted rainbow colors. You can give the child a diagram of a rainbow and have them sculpt it rather than color it. Or hard of hearing. The first adaptation would be to allow children with hearing impairments to sit closer to you in the classroom to hear instruction. And adaptation number 2 is to have subtitles and written directions for activities and instructional time. First assistive technology is a cochlear implant. This requires outpatient surgery, and it is for children who have severe hearing impairments. This transmits electrical signals directly to the cochlea and greatly improves the ability to hear. Assistive device number 2 is a megaphone. So while children are on the playground, if they have deafness or hardness of hearing, they may not be able to hear you when you tell them to line up. So having a megaphone not only saves you your voice, but it also saves those children from being confused when everyone is gone from the playground. They'll be able to hear you when you actually call them. The first activity is ASL Simon Says. So instead of saying Simon says, do this, you can teach your class an ASL cue, and then everyone has to focus on the person visually in order to change. This will help include your children with visual impairments in a very fun activity. The second learning activity is water table exploration, and this is a simple activity for the toddler preschool classroom. So you gather your children around and then you use your ability to enunciate and demonstrate to teach them about pouring and scooping. So use long vowel words such as pour and scoop in order for the children to be able to read your lips, and then demonstrate clearly and slowly how to pour and scoop with the water cups. This is my reference page. I hope you have enjoyed my final presentation for my Exceptionalities course and have a wonderful day.